excuse me, not only inside the military, but outside the military. The biggest issue that happens to us when we leave is that we leave and we become solopreneurs and solo people out here, and the community that we left is no longer welcoming. You know how I know? I went back to my unit after I left. I was like, hey, how y'all doing? And they was like, hey, Sergeant Major, how you doing? And they was happy to see me, right? And then they started looking at me kind of strange. I'm like, what's up? It was like, it's good to see you, but why are you here? And it ain't it time for you to leave? I said, oh, my bad. Left, went back home to my quiet place. And so back in 2016, while I was in the military, I started a business. Guess how many people I knew? 0. I knew 0 people in 2016. I actually knew one, and that was my next door neighbor, Von Zell. Let's give him a round of applause. But that's the only person that I knew. I really didn't know anyone. And so I had to build a strategy on how am I going to get to know people and how am I going to be successful in my business. I had no idea, but I had to lean back on something that I learned in the military. And so number one is being a command sergeant major, I learned leadership. And I was like, maybe I could tell people to do business with me. Why y'all laughing? Yeah, it didn't work. But the other thing that I had was I was a recruiter. And I started realizing that being a recruiter was my superpower. And they taught us a strategy as far as being a recruiter that I took, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna switch this around and I'm gonna use this strategy to learn how to do business and connect with people. And so I took that strategy and I sat down with it and I was like, let me figure out how to turn this from recruiting people to recruiting for my business. And so I'm gonna share those strategies with you guys tonight. So I need y'all to take out a pen. This is the only time I'm gonna share this with you. I'm gonna share this once, and unless you're a member of Veterans Growing America, you will not hear this again. But it's called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 launch strategy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 launch strategy. It will be a test after this. It definitely will be a test. But if you use this, you have no choice but to win. None whatsoever. You know why? Because I told you so. So this slide right here kind of outlines my military career. I spent almost 20 plus of the years in recruiting after my first 9 years in the military. So 20 of it was in recruiting. The first half of it was in human resources. I'll tell you a quick story about me being in human resources a little bit later, but I didn't think that I could go to war as a human resource professional. I had no idea, you know. The drill sergeant was telling me, they was like, yeah, you're going to war. And this was back in 1990. Y'all know what was going on back then. Desert Storm. And I went to basic training. They was like, yeah, you're going to war. I was like, for real? No, I'm not. What am I gonna do, throw a typewriter at people? And they said, yeah. But anyway, I ended up, my first assignment was Desert Storm, right out of AIT. For other services, that means the job school. So back in 2016, I started a leadership consulting firm. And then I found out that I was in business by myself. I was like, I hate this. I don't get to work with people. I get to work with people when I do an event, but I really didn't get to work with people on a daily basis. And so one of the ideas that I had was creating a community of veterans when I left the military, and I created Veterans Growing America. At that time, it was Veterans Grow Virginia. And at Veterans Grow Virginia, we did events like this. We did pop-up events at different locations. In fact, in 2019, we did our first event at Girani Coffee House, and Von Zell was there. At that event, we had about 17 veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs. And the cool part about that day is over 900 people showed up. They showed up for two reasons. One, because they were catching a train to an event, and the train just so happened to be right outside the coffee house. Number two, it was Christmas, and they came to shop for Christmas and special gifts. And I didn't think anybody was gonna show up because it was also raining that day. It was also cold, and they had the streets blocked off. I thought everything was against me. However, God had a different story for us. And we've been in business since 2019, even through the pandemic. We were even working during the pandemic and making things happen for veterans and military spouses. So I want you guys to remember the 3 F's of being successful. When I point at you, I need y'all to repeat them. It's follow up, follow through, and finish. Y'all ready?
Follow up, follow through, and finish.
Follow up. Oftentimes, so I've been hosting Veterans Connect now for 2000. I've been hosting Veterans Connect since 2019 as well. Our first event was at the brewery down the street. But I've seen a lot of people networking. And the one thing that they do is they'll come into a networking event like this, they'll have a stack of business cards, and they'll hand one out to everybody and expect that person to call them. And then they'll walk out, and then they'll try to find another networking event, and they'll do the same thing, and then they wonder why nobody has called them. And the reason why, they didn't build a relationship with anybody. They just hand out a piece of paper and expect people to do business with them. And that doesn't work. And so you gotta build relationships with people. And then when you build that relationship with them, it has to be a mutual relationship. You give them something, they give you something. What is the 2 questions that we ask when you come to Veterans Growing America? Where do you need help, and how can you help, right? And the reason why we want to make sure that you guys are asking that question is because we need you guys to build relationships with each other and help each other, right? The one thing that we learned while we were in uniform was what? Take care of the guy to our left and our right. Sometimes when we leave uniform, we forget that. But outside of uniform, what happens? It's usually a dog-eat-dog world. And that person will be like, hey, what can I get from this person? And they move on. At Veterans Growing America, we don't do that here. We want to make sure that you're taking care of the person to your left and your right, and then you come back next month with the information and support that you need from that individual. So you follow up with them, you follow through, and you finish. And so if I'm looking for a job, and I work at a job, and I introduce you to someplace, I want to make sure that that person called you and they got everything that you needed in order to make that happen. Next slide. So, if you're a business owner, raise your hand. All right, keep your hands raised if you're a little overwhelmed most of the time. All right. Keep your hand up if you're getting the results that you want. I see people doing this. Most of the time, we don't get the results that we want. It's because we're all over the place and we don't have a process. All right? And so this is the process. It's called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody hold up 5. Okay, 5. You need to meet 5 new people per week. 5 new people per week. How do you get new customers? You meet new customers, right? And so 5 new people per week, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You want to meet 5 new people per week and tell them about your business. And then you want to also find out from them, how can I help you? 5 people. How many of you guys are business owners? Raise your hand. How many of you have a CRM? Everybody has a CRM? Somebody tell me what CRM stands for. Say it again. Y'all saying it like y'all don't know what it is. It's a customer relationship manager. Customer relationship manager. What did I say in the beginning you have to do with people? You got to build relationships, right? And so you want 5 new people and build a relationship with them. When you meet those 5 people, you want to put them in your what? In your CRM, right? What do you want to put in your CRM? You want to put the basic information that you have on them: name, phone number, email address, where you met them, and whatever else you can find that is rememberable between the both of you. So if you're 49er fans like me, and they're 49er fans, you need to put that in your CRM. Be like, yeah, dog, how the 49ers do? Well, I'm not going to talk about that. Of those 5 people, 4 of them you need to conduct an appointment with. Okay? Let me go back a little bit. The 5 people that you meet should be able to do business with you. They should be able to do business with you, okay? Of those 5, you want 4 of them where you're conducting an appointment with them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, you do what? Follow up, follow through, and finish. Right? You take Friday off to follow up, follow through, and finish. 3 networking events per month. Why 3 networking events per month? You gotta meet new people. At the networking event, your job is to only meet 3 people. The 3 people that you meet is the person sitting at the front that's checking people in, because they know everybody that walks through the door. You meet the person that runs the event and whoever they introduce you to. What 3 people that you're supposed to meet? And 1 they introduce you to, right? Do you need to meet 10 people when you come to the event? You don't have to. You can, only if you can follow up, follow through, and finish. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, 2, center of influences. What is a center of influence? I am a center of influence. Someone that can introduce you to a large number of your customers. Someone that can introduce you to a large number of your customers, right? I'm a center of influence, but I will only introduce you to the people that I know if I know, like, and trust you. Some of y'all only know. Some of y'all I don't like. Some of y'all I may not trust. I'm just playing. I like and trust all of y'all. But we got to know, like, and trust each other for us to be able to do what? Introduce you to more customers, right? And you contact 2 of those per week. The first conversation is all about what you can do and how you do business and learn what they need. The next conversation is never about any of that. You just call and follow up with whatever they need. You call them, hey, how you doing? What's going on in your world? Anything I can help you with? And they're gonna tell you what they need help with, and you find whatever that they need help with, and you get it to them. And guess what they will do in return? Help you. 1, educational presentations per week, per day, or per month, whatever you can handle. If you have a phone, pick up your phone and hold it up in the air. Guess what that is? That could be a place where you do your educational presentation. Because guess what it is? It's a TV. It's a TV. It's a computer. It's a place where you can talk to people. But if you don't have an audience, create an audience. Get on TikTok, or Facebook or Instagram and go live and tell them about your product or services. The more you do it, the more they will know, like, and trust you. I'm gonna say that one more time. The more you do it, the more that you will know, like, and trust you. Or you can stand in front of a room. I'm standing in front of a room of like 40 people. Me standing up here makes me a subject matter expert. It also makes me an authority. And it also makes you know, like, and trust me if I'm giving you qualified, incredible information. The more you stand in front of a group of people, the more they know, like, and trust you. Does that make sense? So 5, change it, hold on, go back. Go back, because I don't want them to see it. 5, how many per week? 5 new people that you can do business with per week. 5. Right? 5. What is 4?
Appointments.
4 appointments per week. And then what you do on Friday?
Follow through. And finish.
All right. 3. 3 networking events per month. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all this. The first week, second week, third week, and you take the last week to do what? Follow up, follow through, and finish. Right? So 3 weeks, first week, second week, third week, and you always follow up, follow through, and finish. And it's also what? Meet 3 people when you go to those events.
Good students.
I'm telling you, y'all getting an A+ so far. That's your grade right there. And you're supposed to go to these events, and I didn't tell you this part, for 6 months. You go to them every month for 6 months. Why? Say it again, sir. Consistency, right? If a person showed up this month and you never seen them again, could you build a relationship with them? But if you showed up to a location for 6 months, they'll be like, oh, I know that person. That's Donnell. Yeah, he's good. I know, like, and trust him. I met him. I met his family. There's his wife right there and his son. 6 months. 6 months. Y'all hear me? 6 months. The first month, you may not know anybody. The second month, you'll know them. The third month, you'll really know them. And the fourth month, they'll be like, hey, I know somebody that can do business with you. We had a realtor, I haven't seen him in a while, but he came to all of our events for a year and a half. He sold about 15 houses from the people in this room.
In 1 year.
He told me every time, hey, I sold a house. I sold a house to this person. I sold a house to that person. But he was consistent enough where he was here every month, where he built trust, and he sold tons of houses. 2, centers of influence. Who is a center of influence? Okay, I'm a center of influence. Who else could be a center of influence?
Someone who knows a lot of people.
Someone that knows a lot of your customers, right? And so if there's a club that has your customers in it, you want to be a part of that club, and you want to know the person that runs it, and the person at the door, and the person that they introduce you to. And then 1 is what? How many times do you do it?
Once a month, once a day, once a week.
Once a day, once a month, or once a week, whatever you can do consistently. Imagine if your TV program came on when it wanted to come on. You'd be upset, right? And if it came on different channels,
Different times.
and different times. You have to be consistent in what you do and how you do it. And when you come on at the same time. If you're gonna go live at the same time every night, every week, or every month. Be consistent. People trust consistency. Y'all don't believe me? Y'all been to McDonald's?
Breakfast. Breakfast. 10:30.
That burger hasn't changed since I was a kid. And I'm 53 years old. I don't remember ever having a different burger from Burger King, ever. But they told me it's a Happy Meal. But it's consistent. It's on that same corner that I needed when I need some food, right? It's always open and it's always there and I can get it fast and it's reliable. I always get my nasty burger, my nasty fries, and my Coke. Right?
Yeah.
Any questions on any of these? Any questions on them? Now that you heard them, will you use them? By show of hands, will you use them? Please do not forget this. This is what I use to create what you're standing in today. This should tell you how powerful it is. Before y'all leave, I want y'all to walk outside and see if there's any other small businesses on this block. There's none. I've already done the research. We're on a main strip, on a main street, right? In a huge store. When did I start the business?
2019.
Any businesses on this block started in 2019? Consistency. Consistency. And so what I'm telling you is use this, be consistent. You have the cheat code. And the CPA stands for consistent, predictable actions. Yield consistent, predictable results. And as long as you follow up, follow through, and finish, you can be as successful as you want to be. You need a process. You need to be consistent. And you need to follow up, follow through, and finish. Thank you. So the second half of what we're going to do